Hi, my name's Debbie Frankel. I'm the founder and executive director of Freedom Waters Foundation, and I want to thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time and having the interest in being a volunteer for Freedom Waters Foundation. So my job today is to tell you a little bit about Freedom Waters Foundation. Freedom Waters Foundation was incorporated in March of 2006 by myself and John Weller. John Weller is our co-founder. He is a 6-time cancer survivor and a 30-plus year yacht broker. He lives over in Fort Lauderdale, which is where we started this program. Previously, I worked for another organization where I started a lot of these programs. They closed their doors in 2005, and while I was unemployed, John and I just kept doing boat outings for children with cancer and their families. John would get the boats, I would get the kids from the hospitals. Well, I wouldn't actually get the kids from the hospitals, but I would get referrals from the hospitals, and we would do boat outings. Now we do so much more than that. We use multiple vessels, both commercial and private. They can be small, they can be large. We can do multiple boats at a time. We can do small groups, large groups, and we do our Weller days, which are just a 1.5 to 3 hour cruises on the water. We do fishing, we do sailing. We work with the county and do an adaptive sailing program at Sugden Regional Park. We at Freedom Waters work with a very small staff, paid staff, and we have over 300 volunteers that we work with. We work on both coasts of South Florida. In the East Coast, we work from North Miami all the way up to Jupiter and Palm Beach. On the West Coast, from Marco Island to Cape Coral and Fort Myers, and sometimes all the way up to Clearwater. So now I'd like to tell you how we got our name. When I was writing up the business plan for this organization, I kept writing it Frankel Weller for my last name and John's last name, but John and I never wanted any recognition, so we weren't ever going to call it that. And I started asking people, for name ideas, and I must have had over 200 names. And then I called a friend of mine who is a Paralympic sailor, and I said, Bob, what is it that keeps drawing you to the water? What is it? Why do you want to sail so much? And he said, it's the freedom. And I said, well, thank you, Bob. And I got off the phone and I was like, perfect. Our new name is Freedom Waters. And that covered also the F for my name, Frankel, and the W for John's name, Waters. And so Freedom Waters Foundation was named. Our Veterans Program was started in 2012, and since then it has continued to grow and grow and grow to where now half of our participants are veterans and or their family members. How that program got started is a great story. We had a veteran counselor from the Vet Center come and volunteer at one of our kids' fishing tournaments. And while he was there, he said to me, Debbie, do you think you could do something for veterans? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I think there's a need there. We set up our first outing for veterans, and it was a fishing outing, and we had 9 veterans signed up, and only 2 showed up. The 2 that showed up were standing with me in the parking lot with their heads down and kind of looking sideways and saying, let's just forget this. It was really hard for me to come out of my house anyway today. Let's just cancel it. And I said, no, you're here. Let's go fishing. So in the meantime, that counselor went and got another veteran from their home, and we ended up taking these 3 veterans fishing. Well, these guys who at the beginning of the day were kind of looking down and not talking to me really or talking to each other, by the time we came back from the fishing outing, they were all smiles and talking, and we're like, we need to do this for more people. And I said, okay, if you think we need to do this for more of the veterans, you need to come into my office and help me set it up. And one of those veterans, who was extremely shy even before going into service and had come back with a TBI and PTSD, he came into my office. He helped me set up the next veterans outing, and the next veteran outing was on the Naples Princess, and we had 140 veterans without spouses, without family members, just 140 veterans. And since that day, we've been doing more and more for veterans. We do cruises, we do fishing, we do sailing, we get them out paddleboarding, kayaking. All of our programs are free, and we all have a good time together. It's about building camaraderie among each other and with civilians that they can feel safe with, and also for them to find new ways of being. So to make this video, I was asked what makes a good volunteer. First, I want to say, one, you're here. Thank you for that. Second, we're all about safety. And so everything we do, we want to make sure everybody's safe and having a good time. So safety first. The second is to be able to be in touch with your own heart and the love that grows in your heart. Be able to translate that to your own hand and over to another person. That's the most important thing. This whole organization is really based on love. And if you guys are a loving, warm group out there listening to this video now, you're in the right place. And if you love the water, even better. So safety, love, and then we also want you to just be caring and sharing. And we want you to have fun out on the water too. So again, thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful for all of you, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Have a wonderful time today, and I'll see you soon.